Just one sec. Give some thumbs up in the chat if we're all right. There we go. I was wondering where everyone was there. There's no... Right, who have we got? Let's say hello. Is the audio all right, John? Hey, Johnny, man. How's it going? Yes, I vape. I am a vapor. Oh, Bance, how's it going, bro? Audio sound, good. I know it clicks a little bit. I'm thinking about doing my next live stream actually landscape ways, via the mic and stuff, and then it actually pops up as one of my videos once it's filmed as well. I'll just playing about with different ideas really. So what's everyone been doing with the weekend so far? How's your Saturday been? You shouldn't deep throat the mic so much. Ah, right, okay. Why? It likes you. No worries, Adam. Thanks for tuning in, nevertheless, Johnny. Yeah, all bands, everything is good. Everything's good. Lewis, how's it going, man? So, do us a favour, everybody. Double tap the screen so we can get a like for everyone who's here, and that'll be great. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. 7 in 1 like. Double tap. CJ, how's it going, man? Double tap the screen, CJ. Give us a like. I haven't even done it myself. There we go. Don't know if I can do it myself. No, I can't. Can't like myself. So, yeah, the theme of today's chat, those of you who've been here before will know that. Hey, Gazman, how's it going? Those of you who have been here before will know that the theme of the chat is just that. It's not really favourite one. Favourite cologne? Don't have one. I don't have one. Yeah, cheers, Gaz. Spent the day trying out some arrow frags and watching TV. Been a great day. Sounds like a great day. Yeah, Khaled. I have like a top 50 or something, but to choose one, tube. Hey Lee, how's it going, man? Yeah, Khaled. When you when you love fragrances, like when you're really into them, and it's a big part of your life, as sad as that sounds, it's difficult to choose one favorite. You know, if I had like 10 and I was like a normal person that just sprayed them on to smell nice, then I might have a favorite. But I'm a weirdo. I'm a weird geek. You might be able to give me a scenario in which I would be wearing fragrance and then say which one I would prefer for that. You know what I mean? And then even then I would struggle to give you an answer. Will you guys? Well, luckily I won't be as much as as much as I do think of Platinum Ego East when we're talking about summer weddings. I won't say who because they don't want to be they don't want people to know, but very generous two people have gifted me and Claire Zahara fragrances for our wedding, and we haven't worn them. Although I haven't even received mine yet. It's a new release, so we are going to honor those people's kindness and wear them as our wedding scents. And then when we wear them after that, we'll be reminded of the wedding and the generosity of the two people that sort of facilitated that for us. So yeah, that's nice, isn't it? Double tap the screen, peeps. Get them likes in. Cheers, CJ. Yeah, it is awesome, isn't it, Gaz? I'll tell you who it was. Not, it isn't like you know, a favoritism thing or anything like that. There is some of you. Why don't they want to be named? Right. So because I think that certain people might think it's okay to ask them for stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like they have resources, so to speak. Yeah, absolutely lovely gesture. Yeah, these two individuals, like I would say them as being like having like contact, so to speak. You know what I mean? And I think that maybe they've like called in a favor or whatever. Like, I don't think it's something that, like, you know, they've got an unlimited amount of favors to call in, and that somebody's owed them a favor and they've called in a favor and they've put their hand in the pocket as well. You know what I mean? So like, you know, it's not like they've given us them for free. It's actually cost them money to do it. So, but yeah, I know who I can tell and I know who I can't tell. You know what I mean? So yeah. Yeah, man. Which one? Which one do you like, Captain Blackbird? The one that's available now, the original, like the rebranded Airman or Airmen. Smells like cotton candy. Oh, that one. Yeah. Have you tried the new one? Is it Stella? I tried it recently. It would sort of be redundant in my collection. I've got a few things that smell like it. Oh, well, thanks very much for stopping by, Lee. Yeah, thanks very much for stopping by, mate, and I appreciate the support, really do. Double tap the screen, guys. Get them likes up. Have you got a list of wedding frags to choose from? Right. So, in terms of the theme of this video, so what I was going to do was I was going to ask you guys like what you've worn, so that or what you would wear, and then I'll counteract that with some recommendations for myself. But I do have one. I've got the original Airman, happy to trade for sexual favors. I'll give us 2 sprays on the back of my neck, so I'll give you a foot job. So I was deliberate before the whole thing with my 2 kind friends happened. I was deliberating, honestly, was deliberating between these 2, Reflection and Reflection 45, and I would have probably went for original Reflection, because it's a bit brighter, a bit airier, it's a bit more noticeable as well, just because it projects a bit better, with the 45 being 45% oil concentration. It's a bit heavier, so it's a bit closer to the skin. I do appreciate the profile of Reflection 45 more, but I did think for a summer wedding that original Reflection would have been a bit more suitable. And I was deliberating those 2. I was deliberating between the original Reflection. I was also thinking about, and I might still do this at the very end of the night because it drives our last wild, layering layering Bois Imperial with the X Straight. If you've got both, do it, man. It's It's a very, very pleasing wearing experience. You basically just put a couple of sprays of the extra on the back of your neck, because it's all you need, and then spray on the original as you would normally. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic, honestly. Really, really is. Every reflection of the day and 45 for the night would be perfect. Absolutely, absolutely perfect. Couldn't have said it better myself. Arabians, I have some Arabian niche. I've got quite a few from the House of Arabian Oud, and I've got some cheapies, some Arabian cheapies down here in a drawer. Wear secretions magnifique on your big day, pal. I will ask me wearing my secretions. She was wanting something borrowed, and she's asking for a pearl necklace. I said, yeah, don't worry about it. You'll get one. You'll get one later on. You can borrow this. Here's a tissue. Dirty boy, you know me, man. Where were we at with that? Oh, so man, I am. So, I black. Which Arabs were you referring to, mate? Were you referring to just Arabian scents in general, or were you like clones and things like that? Because I do have some. I do have some. I had more when I first started the hobby, but I've moved quite a lot of them on. I've actually got some things that I can recommend over the original if that's what you want me to discuss. But obviously the theme of the video loosely is wedding scents, you know what I mean? So we'll touch on that. So I'll stick a pin in that for you, mate, about the Arabian thing. Just let us know what you want me to discuss. I want to ask you guys, if you were attending a summer wedding, what in your collection would you reach for? MJ, how you doing, mate? Thanks very much for stopping by. I appreciate the support, man. I really do. Can we double tap the screen, please, guys, if you don't mind? Just throw us some likes, if you don't mind. I appreciate it. Yeah, so what would you guys wear for your summer wedding? Versace, the red square. Also the Eros Flame. Yeah, I like that one too. Gucci Envy EDT, pure elegance. Blockbuster late fees. If you're not aware, I think FOMO do a clone of Gucci Envy. It's the green one. Can't mind what it's called now, but I don't know how close it is. But if you really like that scent profile, maybe check it out. My wedding scent from my collection will be Kajal Lamar as a guest, if the weather is like this. Beautiful Lamar, absolutely beautiful. Really, really fruity, saffrony pineapple bomb. Sweet, like it is sweet. If it was red hot, it might be a bit thick, but who cares? Who cares? Why the hell am I talking about perfume? I freaking love this. So do we all. So do we all, man. Gucci Guilty Elixir, similar to Reflection 45. It is. And do you know what I think? I think. Where are you? Where are you, Mr. Gucci? I think it's got more of that sort of metallic, sort of white floral smell than original Reflection. But it also has like a sweet vanilla that sort of reminds me more of Parfums de Marley Darley. It's as if the sort of like threw in everything that is sort of like this into a pot and then give it its own character, because I really like this. CJ, you love this too, don't you, mate? And I wasn't going to get one because I have the Reflections and I have Darley and I have Lamal, all of those things that it's sort of compared to. But when you smell it out in the air, you do realize that it's different. And I just wanted it. and I got it cheap, so I just picked it up. Owen, how are we doing, man? My other half said, apart from Zamali Palatine, I think cold weather, I'd maybe go for Leighton Exclusive or Carlisle. Oh, we love Leighton Exclusive, man. As a guest would be Hashifat by Imperial and Profumo, yeah? So your other half said Palatine for herself or you? I mean, wear what you want. I've never wore it, obviously, but if it was a winter autumn, I'd wear Vanilla Diorama. Very nice choice. Very nice choice. That's not something I have. I don't have any of the Christian Dior private lines. I've got decants of them. Like I've got what do we have here? Purple Oud. That's beautiful. That if you haven't tried that, that is beautiful. And I've got Leather Oud downstairs. That's funky. That's a funky boy. That like. Daytime, I'd go Diwan. I think. Hey, I'm pleased I've got you onto the Arabian Ouds, John. Diwan's an absolute banger, like absolute banger. Don't own many special occasion fragrances, to be honest. If it was a cool summer day, I'd rock Haltane. If it was warmer, I guess Basso. Do you know what though, Orbans? You don't need a lot of special occasion fragrances because how often do you attend special occasions? Do you know what I mean? And like, they don't have to be a special fragrance. Like, people need to get their head around the fact that, like, I'm just going to turn this music down because it's quite distracting. Oh, it's a good job I'm not getting monetized for these lives as well because I could have got copyright for that. Yeah, people need to get their head around that spending a lot of money doesn't necessarily mean that you're getting a special frag, and that spending a little amount of money doesn't necessarily mean that you're not. You know what I mean? There's some really, really, really good sense. Here's one, right? Here's one. Here's something that you can pick up for around about 30 quid that's ideal for a summer wedding, especially if you yourself have got a bit of class about you. It's compared to great dropping stuff for me, like it's compared to Bois de Portugal from Creed. This is Lalique Porom Lion. It's got a beautiful like etched lion. Like that's actually concaved into the back of it, like frosted glass. So when you see it from the front, you see because of the light there, but nicer. And this is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. Fougere, like, you know, it's like it's got a bit of resinous character, but it's green, aromatic. Lavender's beautiful in it. I think we've got like cypriol oil or something like that because it's like spiky green, but like resinous. Beautiful, man. Honestly, hey guys, you would like this. You would like this. It's like it's a slightly more so fougere, like barbershop scent, like what like Platinum Egoist is. It's like a slightly more grown up. It's more. I would say it's more dated rather than say slightly more grown up. It's a rather more dated scent profile. My girlfriend advised me to buy Gentleman by Givenchy. Right. Well, there's a lot of them. So you would need to be you would need her to be a bit more specific if she smelled something and she wants you to have it. You need to make sure she knows which one, because I mean, like, I think I've got about 6 and there's about 4 I haven't got, you know what I mean? So there is a lot of them. Need to smell it for herself. Yeah. Giada Ambassador Intense, cool weather, outstanding. I would say it wouldn't be out of place at a wedding. You know what? If you're a guest, though, like, just go easy on them sprays. Hey, man, just have you a shout on my channel. Yeah, I'll give you a shout out for your channel, or did you shout me out? I'm not sure. Let's have a look. I can't actually have a channel activity, maybe. No, that's your activity on here. 855 subscribers. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'll give you a shout out. So everyone, you won't be able to actually go to Jude's channel by clicking on his name unless you're a moderator within the chat. So it's difficult, by the way, like to try and, if you think that people will be able to just click on your channel within here and then find you, they need to actually search for you. But shout out to you, mate. I went to a wedding about a month ago. Weather was a bit rainy. I wore Outlands. I've only just smelled Outlands recently, and I smelt one of the other ones from that collection from my friend George today, who kindly remembered. I was about this for somebody. He remembered that I said that I'd smelt Molten Brown, Mesmerizing Oud Accord, Oud and Gold, and that I loved it. And that was a while ago, and I'd only mentioned it once, and he went out and got me a bottle as a wedding present. I was about that. What a really nice guy. Yeah, I can't remember what the other one was. I smelled at George's today because he's got two of them, and he's missing the third from that line. I hadn't really looked into the line. I knew Outlands was the one that was getting all the praise, but there was another one. There was another one that he had today, and I smelled that, and that was nice as well. A little bit sandalwoody. Those Arabian smells are underrated. I think like, fortunately, as Westerners, our taste, our palate is being opened up now. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of things that wouldn't have sold well and wouldn't have went down well in the Western world, even as recent as like a decade ago. But we're a bit more adventurous now, thankfully, as well. You know, there's you go back 10 years and there was only people that were really, really fanatical about fragrances that would wear actual like Laotian and Indian oud. You know what I mean? And yeah, there was things like civet and castoreum and things like that in old school fragrances for men. But you know, like now it's synthetic now, but now people wouldn't bat an eyelid. You know, what are you wearing? You know, I'm wearing the juice from a beaver's fucking ball sack, aka castoreum, and it smells great. Do you like it? You know what I mean? So like, I think, you know, when you say those Arabian smells are underrated, they were underrated, but I think they're actually starting to get a bit more of the appreciation that they deserve, and some of them are so well crafted. Like, look at this for example, right? Now this is Al Farid from Arabian Oud. It's not a clone house or anything like that. It's an Arabian niche house. Yeah, the bottle looks a bit tacky in that, but it's actually, you know, a solid metal cap. It shouldn't be allowed. That smells absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. It's a sort of like powdery, sweet, resinous, woody smell. It's a little bit sweet up in the top, like maybe even a little bit fruity, but it smells of pure class. It really does. If this was an autumn or a spring wedding, you wouldn't go far wrong with that. It's not cheap. It's not cheap. But I'll tell you what, it's worth every penny. Performs really well. And you can just smell the quality within it. You know what I mean? So like people, yeah, I was pulling this out to emphasize a point. People, they automatically think that Arabian scents are all like smoky, oudy, florally sort of things. A lot of them are, but It isn't all they do. Mark Sampson, howdy, man. How's it going? Thanks for stopping by yet again. Yet again. Diwan is a masterpiece, mate. Amazing fragrance. Absolutely is. And you know what? Al-Farid smells a little bit like Diwan in that like sort of powdery floral aspect that it's got of it. You know what I mean? Like the way it comes over with that, like it's almost like a violet-y sort of smell, but not a metallic violet leaf, like watery violet, more like a powdery violet, you know. What they do with smoke brings out an amazing smell. Yeah, yeah. If you like smoky Arabian stuff, right, and you don't want to spend a lot of money, this is one of the, if not the pound for pound enjoyment versus cost fragrance I have in my collection, because you can get it dirt cheap and it smells incredible. It's not for everyone, but if you like sweet, ambery, resinous, smoky, dark Arabian sort of smells, and the bottle is hilarious. John Flood, look away. John doesn't like velvet or like furry bottles. But this is Majd Al Sultan by Asdaf, which is actually a branch of Latafa. And you know what, right? You can pick this up sometimes for as low as like 11 or 12 quid, honestly. And take away the bottle, take away the brand, right? If you'd walked into like a indie niche shop that was selling its own fragrances, right? And they're never cheap, really. And you put £100 over the counter and got this fragrance just in a different bottle and called something else, you would not be disappointed. In fact, you'd still be quite chuffed. Doesn't smell cheap, doesn't smell badly put together or badly blended or anything. Honestly, this is excellent. Majd Al Sultan by Asdaf. Yeah. If any of you guys who actually know me want to try that, just give me a shout. Just give me a shout. And if I need to post it out, yeah, just cover postage. Like, you know, I don't mind sharing. Arabian Oud Amiri is class. That's one that I still need to get. I still need to get that one. And it's one of the better ones as well. It's just, I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from Arabian Oud, but I've got them. A couple of them I got in the groups, but the rest I got when there was like a sale on Arabian Oud, and then they fell into a price bracket where I was like, I'm getting that. But Amiri, it's already a good chunk more expensive than the rest of them. So even with a discount on it, it's still quite expensive. So I've been looking out for a partial in the groups. Wajan for cool weather. Can't argue with that, man. At a decant, would love a full bottle, yeah. Mary actually might be the one I'd choose for actually my wedding, right? See, I haven't even tried it. I haven't even tried a Mary. Invasion Barbar by MD. Have I tried that? I don't think I've tried that. I don't think I've tried it. What have I missed? I don't know. I'm just scrolling back over this mark. I'm just scrolling back over the chat mark. So if you've walked into me absolutely laughing my tits off, then I don't know. This might sound silly, but I once got a James Bond 007 perfume and I loved it. Why does it sound silly, man? Look at this. I said it to people who've just joined at the beginning of this chat, that the theme is very loose and this is why, because I'm meant to be talking about wedding scents, but you guys, you're also really good at contributing towards the chat and giving me stuff to talk about that I tend to just go off on the wildest tangent. Um, right, where is it? In fact, I think I've got this out already once on a live stream. Oh, where are you, man? Ah, there you are. Get yourself onto Amazon, and for the pricely sum of £6, you can get this denim, original denim, to splash on, but it actually performs all right. It's a leather sheepler. Oh, wow, man. Like, you need to like old school, leathery, like rough, like, you know, dad in charge sort of smells to like that, but it's fantastic. So yeah, doesn't matter how much you spend or what the brand is. If it smells good, it smells good. Yo, can I be mod? You know me. Dark. I've already got a lot, mind. I've already got a lot of moderators. At the end of the chat, I'll go over like who I've got as mod. Everyone hit the like. Yeah, everyone hit the like. That's good. 14 likes, 22 in. That's excellent. Leah Mason, Crevelli, Hibiscus, Marjad. Do you know what? I don't like it. I like it in the. It's a nice smell, but I don't want to smell of it. If you know what I mean. Layered, it might be good. You know, that sort of like sweet, bright, floral thing. It just isn't my taste, my personal taste. You know what I mean? I think it maybe leans a little bit too feminine for me. But other people, other fellas who aren't feminine fellas, you know, like they wear it and like it, and maybe on them, on their skin, with their skin chemistry, they pick up something different, or they don't pick up the bright, spiky, floral sort of thing that I pick up off me, you know. Although if it was on my missus, no problem, no problem. W40 is a perfect perfume for me. Do you mean WD-40? I'll be meaning to ask you, why Elixir and why Lelixir the same frag, different name? I've got why Elixir and it's fantastic. The bottle is slightly different to the ones that just say Elixir. I didn't know there was a Y Elixir. I thought they were all called Y Elixir. I smelled it right when it first come out, and I was dead hyped for it because it had oud in it, which you can't smell at all. I don't know anybody who's been honest about how it smells that have said that they can smell oud. But to me, it smells like Y, like a YEDP with the sweetness like booted out. It's got a little bit of it still, but most of the sweetness booted out, and it smells a bit soapy. It definitely smells of higher quality than the other Y flankers, but I've never felt the need to own it. And I guess I would maybe get a partial if it came up cheap enough, because I didn't dislike the smell. But you've got to remember when it first came out, they're only available in 60ml bottles. When it first came out, it was like, what, 150 quid or something. So that's what put me off. I just tried it and it, you know, the price put me off. But I didn't know, John. I didn't know that there was a Y Elixir and Y Elixir. Maybe they've just changed it, like, you know, because they're doing like another run and they've just decided to change it. I don't know. WD-40i. The Elixir name, Absolute's gone so far. It's hard to tell which is which these days. Do you know what, right? Something I've learned, and if any of you are on like early on in your frag journey, or you just want to hear this, right? I had this, and I still do. I think it's just part of my personality, being a collector and that. If I get like 2 or 3 fragrances from a particular line and I like them, it's as if there's a part of my brain that just goes, right, you've got to buy them all now. Like, there's 3 there that you like. You need the whole set. And from a collection perspective, then you can understand that, right? But I know people that have done it thinking that they're going to get a variety. You know what I mean? Like if it's going to be like something that can line up and go, oh, which will I have today? And then spray it on and then go out and appreciate the vast difference that from the one that I sprayed before. This is what I believe, right? Now you can take this with a pinch of salt, but this is what I think happens. So the release of, I'm just going to use a fragrance line as an example here, right? But from a business standpoint, logically, financially, and sales figures wise and everything, this makes like a lot of sense. So let's take Stronger With You, absolutely. Well, Stronger With You, right? For instance, right? They release Stronger With You. Now, obviously, they buy their materials in vast amounts, right? And then they pay a perfumer, and the perfumer will do like samples, and he'll go away and he'll fiddle about with it, and he'll send them. Or if he's in house, or if he's at Firmenich or whatever, you know what I mean. They'll get a thing, and they'll be like, right, okay, that's nice. Tweak this, tweak that, and when they're finally happy with it, they'll say, make it as cheap as you can. That's what they'll say. They'll say like that scent profile, yes, but we need to make it as cheap as we can. So they might swap out a few things. They might, a cheaper aroma chemical than the one that they use to eventually get the desired, composition or whatever. And then their accountants and all that will be like, right, we're happy with that. We've done the figures. We know that we can churn that out and make a really good profit. Now then, while they've got him, and while they're paying for his services, and while they've got that nailed down, I think what they do is they say, right, make it a little bit different, and then make it a little bit different again. Try putting that in it. And they'll have the next 4 releases already nailed down, measurements, recipe, the lot, when they release the first one. It's not like they get the perfumer back in like 6 months or a year later, I don't think anyway, and go, oh yeah, that's Stronger With You. Can you do as another one? I don't think so. I think it's all done all at once, or the majority of it at least. You know what I mean? Like it won't be when like Acqua di Gio, for instance, like they're still doing flankers now, like 25 years or whatever it is after the first one. But I think a good amount of them will be made on day one, or at least formulated on day one. And what they do is they'll release a fragrance, it'll be hyped up, right? And the sales figures will go bang. And then they'll stay up there. And then after a little bit, when they start like tapering and falling off, that new flanker, yeah, that was made ages ago, bang, it sales figures again. It doesn't matter that one's like still down there, and maybe even tapering a little bit still. But what does happen is the people that didn't try that, when they try this one, boom, they're like, oh my God, I love that. Here, that other yarn that was released last year, it's a bit cheaper now, isn't it? I'll grab that in as well, like this one. And then you sort of have like one hand washing the other one. You know what I mean? So I think that there's a strategy there, like cost effectiveness from like hiring the perfumer, etc., and also the majority of the raw materials are shared. There's just little twists here and there. I do think that 4 or 5 of them at least, if you've got this a line with a lot of flankers, I do think 4 or 5 of them are actually made all at once. Sorry about that. I do rabbit on when I'm trying to get my point across, but that's just my opinion. That's just a theory of mine, but I do think that it happens. And when I seen Owen's comment there about the elixirs and absolutes and difficult to know which is which, I think that sort of explains a lot of it away. Luster's the one he hasn't got. Reasons was the other one that he does have. Yeah. Just bought Alpha today. Really? How do you feel about it? It's nice, isn't it? I really like it a lot. What is it? What is it? What is what? I don't know. Alpha Reed is my second favorite from Arabian. Right. Message retracted. Hey, bro. Remember? Hey, Quill. How's it going, man? I was there with Benji. Who's Benji? Who's Benji? Lol, that bottle, I know. Frag lad, make me mod, please. How does House Black smell? I bet you there's loads of comments here. I'm really sorry, guys. House Black, I'm going to have to skip through to catch up to the chat. House Black smells like Hashivat. And if you haven't spelled Hashivat, it's like a green oak mossy sort of foresty sort of base undertone with like pineapple and bergamot up in the top. So it opens up like sweet, spiky, and juicy, and then it transitions into like a woody patchouli and oak moss. Every time I pick Bass up, I think of you. The Amiri is going for 60 quid. Oh, yes, please. Yeah, if you don't mind, yeah. Tag me in the post, yeah, definitely. You'll probably be gone by the time I get off here. I've got more filming to do. Dad in charge. Do you have Bad Boy? I don't have the original. I have the original Cobalt, not the Elixir, and I have the Parfum as well. Yeah, I didn't like Hibiscus Majad at all. Really like Hibiscus, very strong. Basically, really some potent ones. I've got a decant of Curium Fruge. I need to try that. My favourites have been Oud Stallion and Oud Cadenza, which is the most budget leathery perfume. Clone, ooh. Right, so it's not the most budget. I can't really. So you've got like Mason Alhambra's like Toscano leather. Yeah, that'll probably be the one. I think they've changed the name of it now because Tom Ford like took them to the cleaners like through the courts for copying the bottles and the names and that. So I think it's changed now. But whatever Mason Alhambra are knocking out as the Tuscan leather, that'll probably be your best bet. Though the guys in the chat might have a better idea. Ah, nice. Not very versatile though, I see him, but it's good for sure. Keen to try. Got to go have a go on, but all right, guys, you're probably already gone. I'm sorry, man. I like obviously I've scrolled back a lot in the chat. See you guys, man. All right, I'm caught up. I'm caught up. Most budget friendly leather. Ah, got it. Latafa Anna Abied leather. Look it up. I'm not sure where you're based though. Mahmood, can you tell me where you're from, or at least where you're living? If it's UK, you'll be able to pick up Latafa Anna Abied leather for about 15 quid. And you know what? It smells really, really good as well. And it smells just of leather, or at least leather accord. It's tagged you in the Amiri partial post. It's the fragrance. Right, okay. Cheers, man. Thanks very much. You're gonna have to forgive my ignorance, HB, but I forgot who you are. I'm really sorry. It's like I get this all the time. MJ, right? Yeah, I remember. Yeah, your profile picture's a football shirt. Yeah, sorry, man. I apologize. It's like I get it all the time with the guys that don't have like their name as. Yeah, I think I've commented like you know me. I'm everywhere. I'm like God. I'm everywhere all at once. But yeah, like I'm Charlie Parkinson's, right? Okay. See, this is it. This is what I mean. How you doing, Charlie? This is what I mean. Like, I don't mean to be ignorant. I don't I don't mean to be like dismissive or like acknowledge it or like refusal to acknowledge it. Yeah, congratulations from California. Hey Dave, how's it going? Thank you. Um, it's a guess who. Yeah, it is. It is. And those of you that know me know that yeah, I'm pretty much like everybody, and I get along with everybody. So if I don't acknowledge you, yeah, it's because I genuinely don't know. Right, question time. What is the last fragrance that knocked your socks off in a good way that you weren't expecting it to? Filmed the review today, right? Now, I wouldn't necessarily say that I wasn't expecting it to because I've got a lot from the house and a couple of loves and a few others are strong likes. But sorry, John, it's another velvet bottle, mate. Il Padrino. Can't for the light. I can't get like the thing. Il Padrino. Don't touch it. Awesome, absolutely awesome, Mark. This is a banger. This is an absolute banger. If you like booze, fucking fairy bastards should be illegal. Il Padrino. Yeah, I owe you, don't I? Yeah, I got it this week. Yeah, I got it this week. Um, Oisin, I'll get it. It is you. It is you. I owe a decant to, isn't it? I'm positive it is. Um, I'm sending it out. That's Supreme. Who don't look forward to hearing your thoughts. Is it you? This is what I mean about my bloody memory. I talk to that many people. Yeah. sorry. Yeah, I'm sending you 10 mil out of Polo Supreme Mood. And yeah, guys, I know it's like the unicorn fragrance, but I managed to get one. And me and Oisin had I purchased a fragrance from him, and like I think Mr. Postman had kicked it about a bit, and it was leaking, and I wasn't bothered because I was just going to decant it. Like I hadn't lost anything really. It was just a little bit in the box, but that gentleman right there refunded half my money, and I didn't want him to. You know what I mean? There was no loss to me. So because he did that, I'm sending him some stuff to make me feel a bit better. You're the gent. You're the gent, mate. What is your most complimented fragrance of all time? Right. So you've got to look at compliments as two different things, right? So there's unsolicited compliments where people that don't owe you anything and just feel compelled to tell you that they like what you smell like, and then there's the people that you live with, and they're two very different things. You know what I mean? Two very different things. But when combined both, positive reactions from a particular fragrance, it would probably be one of my most worn because then that you know what I mean. More people have interacted with that smell. I don't get a lot of compliments. I don't know if it's because I look unapproachable. It's not like I don't have a lot of nice smelling stuff. Um, but if we go on compliments versus how often I've wore it, so one of my actual lesser worn fragrances, if I'd have wore that as much of one of my as some of my most worn, I think it would be a clear winner, and it's this one. And I love it as well. Afnan Supremacy Collector's Edition. It's a twist on the Absolute Aventus DNA. I think you get a bit more of the like that sort of like neroli-ish or orange blossomy sort of thing in here. And obviously everyone and their mother has smelt some sort of iteration of either a Ventus or a Ventus Absolute. Now, this, if you've never smelt a Ventus Absolute, this isn't. Whereas with a Ventus, you get that sort of the pineapple, depending on which batch, but generally the pineapple comes over a bit brighter because of the amount of bergamot that's with it. Whereas this, it's juicier, and there's more stuff in there to make it juicier as well. I also think that it's a bit smokier, obviously depending on which batch of Aventus you're comparing it to. But there's like a Sauvage elixir sort of spice. What the spice combination that you get from Sauvage elixir, you sort of get it in this too. And when Aventus Absolute was first released, people were saying that it's like, oh, it's just like Aventus mixed with Sauvage elixir. There's more to it than that. Obviously, there's more to it than that. But this, honestly, I've probably only wore these about half a dozen times. And those of you that know me know I never talk about compliments because I think they're just as subjective as fragrance themselves. You know what I mean? It depends who you're around. It depends who you are. It depends what vibe you're giving off. You know what I mean? Like, it's very subjective. But I've only worn this half a dozen times, and every time I've worn it, somebody different has told me that I smell nice. So if compliments is what is driving you to make your next purchase, I would consider that. Absolutely. Beast mode stuff I've been banned from wearing at the office. Here comes the compliments mean nothing rant. I've kept a list of compliments for the last 3 years. Oh my God. Yeah, Secretions Magnifique will be a solid wedding scent, only it'll be my secretions on wedding night. What frag house is either hit or miss for you? And I think you've included loves and hates in equal measures. All right, I'll just go down first before answering that. Right. So first, there was another question from Mark there. So first of all, the love hate thing. I could go on a Louis Vuitton rant because there's a lot that I disagree with when it comes to the price and the sort of the way that the marketing has bought into the brand and the badge, and you know what I mean, like the way that they've targeted people that you know the type of people that take photos of like scent of the day, and it's a Louis Vuitton bottle, and they've just managed to get the Rolex in, and they're leaning on the gear stick of the Mercedes. Those type of people, you know what I mean, rather look good and lose than look bad and win. Those type of people. And I'm not saying that everybody that buys LV is like that, right? Okay, like, so please don't be offended, but that sort of mentality is what those brands with those price tags is sort of like. Oh, you see, it's not a personal attack. Don't listen to him. I knew the LV round was coming. So yeah, I've just got a gripe with them. I've got a gripe with them, especially when you're spending like 300 quid on a bottle of afternoon swim, and it's it's gone. It's gone quicker than an afternoon dip. You know what I mean? My records show that fresher fragrances is well, yeah. My records show is the cologne documenter. I'm honestly loving the Givenchy Society Extreme for leathery tobacco. I'm assuming it is. There's not much really of a. I'll subject. I know we all are, Adam. I'll subject your nose to some really good leather tobacco fragrances, Johnny. But I have a feeling you won't like them. But there is a sort of, I mean, it's coffee what you smell most of all at the beginning with Society Extreme. There is stuff in there that would lead you, like the vetiver can come across a little bit of tobacco-y, I guess. And the vetiver can come across smoky, and there's a lot that can make you think that it's like that, and I wouldn't say that your nose has led you astray at all. You know what I mean? Um, that's what it is. Dark coffee and smoky. Yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah, absolutely. And that's at the beginning. Whereas tobacco and leather, you generally wouldn't smell until a little bit later on, and probably for the length of the wear as well. Yeah, Mark's collection of decants, it like far outshines my own, and I've got a lot. Like that guy's got more decants than hairs I've got on my back. Yeah, I wasn't going to say head, was I? Would you say Cedric Brazil is different enough from the original to own both? Yes, yes, I think it's different enough, providing you haven't got a massive collection. Like if you've only got like 20 or only got 20 or 30, yeah, what a stupid thing to say. But if you've only got like a reasonable amount of fragrances, then you might not want to tie up like two places on your shelf with something like very similar like that. You know what I mean? I would only say that definitely get both if you love that profile. If you absolutely adore that composition, then you can have different versions of it. Do you know what I mean? But for me, I made my mind up and I kept the intense. Um, I just liked how much darker it was. Um, and it was smokier. You know what I mean? I just like that. That's just more my personal taste. But if you like them both, try them both, wear them both, maybe like in successive days, um, and make your mind up yourself. But personally, I don't think that similar where you would you would feel like you'd made a mistake basically. But I would sample. I would definitely sample. So wedding frags, what you're going for? Me personally, um, like what am I wearing? I don't know if I told you earlier on in the chat. Maybe you didn't come till later on, Johnny. Heading off, going to pick Alice up from a party. All right, cheers for coming, CJ, mate. Thanks very much. I have a silly amount. Yeah, okay. Welcome to the club. Mark's Decan collection is probably more mils than my bottle collection. Laddie is a super handsome bellend. Hey, he's Chad, man. Thanks very much for this. Is that a super chat you sent me? Thanks very much, man. It'll go. I'm not allowed to draw it down yet. It goes into a little holding thing until I'm actually monetized, and then I can draw it down. But thanks very much, Chad. I appreciate it. You got a lovely Adventures type DNA to own Cedric Bozzy and Intense. The OG is fresher, and the Intense is darker, smokier, more animalic. My personal preference is the OG, but it's close. I'm off. Good live stream. Al. Thanks very much, Owen. Cheers, mate. Right. I'm ugly, so I need to smell nice. That's me too. That's me too. So I've already talked about reflection 45, Bois Imperial, and the extra, the layer and combination. I also mentioned La Ligue for So when thinking about summer weddings, you need to sort of put yourself in the mind of the people that you're going to be around, right? So and the environment also, obviously, everyone's dressed up. So you don't want to be going for anything that would smell chavvy, yeah, that would smell cheap, that would smell overly synthetic and like a sweet shop or anything like that, right? But you know, summer Zerjoff of choice would be Renaissance. That would be probably my Zerjoff of choice for summer. For a summer wedding, it would probably be Neo. That screams class. Absolutely screams class. Um, Now, Parfums de Mali, if I was going to go for a Parfums de Mali, knew it would be Renaissance, yeah. Joe Homo, and yeah, that very, very, very good shouts, man. Very good shouts. 2.169 liters worth. Jesus Christ. That's right. It's got to better be a fucking fairy bottle. I recently got Ahmed Al Magabri Ignite Oud. Very good. But for a wedding, I would go with Joran Parfum in winter. Yeah. Creed Royal Oud in summer. That's a good shout, actually, for the Creed. Um, there's another one that would be, I think, just as good. There's the Royal Oud. And I think Aventus Cologne might be a bit too. It smells nice, but I don't think it's nuanced enough. I don't think there's enough to it for it to smell classy. But you wouldn't go far wrong with Green Irish Tweed. I know people like, say it's more for spring, but I think that you could definitely wear it at a summer wedding. Um, there's too many Sahara offs to even contemplate. Really, you could signature pour on, no problem. Citrine, actually, I think that no, maybe not citrine actually. But if you wanted to go down the rosé line, you easily could. Royal X, maybe not, but Royal, yeah. Um, Seraphim, Seraphim Blue, possibly. Need to smell Seraphim Musk. That's what's on the way. Um, but actually, no, maybe he's only 3 or 4 out of. Oh, I'll tell you what you could wear. This smells beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Atkinson's Gold Fair in Mayfair. Wow, that smells beautiful. This is a special scent, guys. It smells very elevated, actually. It's floral, but like powdery floral in a masculine sort of way, and spicy as well. There's some fresh spices, a little bit smoky and woody. That's beautiful stuff, that, man. Honestly, guys, if you need to sample that, then sorry, if you want to try that, definitely sample it because it's expensive and it's not for everyone. But honestly, guys, that smells really, really good. I would definitely wear that at a summer wedding. 1819 is a good shout. I don't have it, but I have smelled it. Yes, Precious Treasure is amazing, isn't he? Absolutely amazing. Is Sedley piss weak or is it just my skin? Yeah, Sedley isn't as weak as you think it is, but he isn't strong at all. Um, so people around you'll smell it for longer than you will, but it doesn't project very well. I don't understand these people that say that it's a beast mode freshie at all. I've never got that, and I don't know if it's because I've got a recent bottle, or and it used to be stronger, or that it's just reviewers like blowing smoke up Parfums de Marley's ass, and they got sent a bottle for free, so they felt like they've got to say it. You know what I mean? I love the scent. I love the scent, but I wouldn't wear it. I don't think it's a classy smell at all. I don't think it's designery because I can't think of a designer that smells like it. So, it is a bit different. It's a bit different from a designer fragrance, but it doesn't smell classy or elevated. It certainly isn't a strong fragrance. Um, but that opening is incredible. It's it's really, really nice, very addictive. Um, and I like how it transitions. It, you're just never gonna get any more than 6 hours out of it, ever, 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 ever. And these people who say that like after 11 hours or whatever they could still smell it, like I'd like them to look me in the face and me say, right, okay, say it again, and if I think you're lying, I'm gonna crack you. Reformulations destroy fragrances, right? 99%, 95% of the time they do. Um, I actually think as well that it isn't always IFRA. Um, I think that sometimes they intentionally do it for a few different reasons, maybe to stretch it out and get more money from the oils or what, I don't know. But I think sometimes they'll either reformulate or discontinue something with their eye on the future of bringing it back, either in a different bottle, um, or something with a twist, or like you know what I mean. That's normally with a discontinuation, isn't it? Um, ATH was a master of it. Like the level of if you had every ATH, the level of redundancy in that collection is epic, absolutely epic. There's so many of them that smell so similar, and like it's like you'll hear, oh, Aaron's discontinuing such and such, so we better get a bottle because we love it. And then a couple of months down the line, new release comes out, and it's like, oh, I needn't have bothered. I needn't bother because that's so close to it. It doesn't even matter. I can see some Argos. What would be your pick from them? So I've got Sacred Flame, Danae, Adonis Awakens, and Neptune's Trident. So I would say, like, he's only real freshie there, and it's Neptune's Trident, and it's beautiful, and it's that nice that I relinquished the rest of my Wulong Cha. Now it's not the same, but I only had a little bit of it left, and I used it in a trade. I wasn't going to get a backup bottle, but then I got that, and I figured I didn't need them both because they sort of served the same purpose. Um, Now, if who knows, further down the line, I might pick up another bottle of Oolong Cha because I love it, but I'd bought it to death, and that was just like, I don't know, like a sequel. You know what I mean? Like, um, you like that, so here, have this sort of thing, and I was like, it was like a twist on something that I already loved, like a profile I already loved. Some people say it's like imagination. Um, all right, bit of a stretch actually. Maybe not so much in the beginning, but Um, I think I think it's more like Wulong Cha, but it's had like an imagination makeover. You know what I mean? Like I think the tea smells more like it does in Wulong Cha, but just not as. I think it's brighter. It's not as green. It's not as thick and green. That would be my freshie of choice, and I wouldn't be able to choose between Danae, Sacred Flame, and Adonis Awakens. Sacred Flame is like a leathery, smoky sort of like resinous sort of smell. Um, Danae is beautiful, like clean and sweet, like a fresh, sweet, clean, sort of vibrant, sort of, but yet smooth. Really, really nice. And Adonis Awakens, that's sort of multifaceted as well. That's it's not as sweet as Danae. It's more fresh. I think Adonis Awakens and Danae are actually pretty close, to be honest, in how they smell. Um, but Danae is a bit sweeter, and Adonis Awakens is a bit fresher. But between Sacred Flame, Adonis Awakens, and Danae, I couldn't choose. I honestly couldn't choose. I'm actually looking into getting back your Immortal because John Main reminded me of how nice it was with your little sample he sent me. So if I see a partial of that, I'll probably pick it up. Which is best between Sedley and Greenlee, both in terms of smell and performance. Greenlee on both accounts. My favourite parfum's the Marley Freshie. Actually, if I spent some more time with Castley, because I've only sampled it, that might, because I love Bois Imperial and there's a strong similarity there. Um, Only PDM Freshie that lasts long is Perseus. Perseus does last a long time, you're right there. It's the musks. It's the musks that's used. Agree about Aaron. Couldn't agree more. Aside from a few, yeah, it's all the same. Do you know what? I've only kept one. I've got some 10 mils, but I had some 50s, and the only 50 mil that I kept is Oud Noir. That's the only one. It's beautiful. Now, it's not a lot like any of his other fragrances, but it's quite a bit like Plum Japonais, quite a bit like from Versace, a little bit actually, but not the same. But it is like Plum Japonais, and I don't have Plum Japonais, but I have the insider version. I don't need the Tom Ford, and I see a lot of similarities in this. I really do. Yeah, it is because it's an extrait. All of Argus's extracts are a bit more pricey. I actually got it in a trade. It was a straight swap for Parfums de Marley Galloway. The smell does last with ATH. It does. He's got I think it's dihydromercenol and a few other musks that he always favors. And but when you're using particular musks and aroma chemicals that often, I think, now correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that there's something within a good 90 odd percent of his fragrances, right? That when they hit into the dry down, they all have this particular smell. It's like his signature, and I think it's his choice of aroma chemicals as musks, and I think they're there to help with push and with longevity. But that's just my opinion. I have tried Fall of Phaeton. Yeah, I have tried Fall of Phaeton. It was between that and Sacred Flame when I was, Chris from Fragmental with his shop Lux Parfum. Yeah, they had a sale on, and I was picking up 30 ml bottles there for a really good price. So I said I'll get myself two. I chose Danae. I wanted Danae, but it was between Sacred Flame and Fall of Phaeton. I gave my ATH collection away, as you say, very similar. I also didn't experience the beast mode longevity. I found that to be reasonable, lasting skin sense. Yeah. Have you had any fragrances that have gone off to the extent they've have to be binned? No. I know of people that have, and I've bought like secondhand partials off like eBay and things like that have not smelt the same. So even if you store them correctly, eventually the scent will change. So if you store them correctly and you don't expose them to natural light, heat, so I've got a roller blind on there. It's a blackout blind. So when I'm not filming, them lights obviously aren't on, and I put my roller blind down, and the radiator's on the opposite end of the room. And even in winter, when the radiator comes on, I've got that turned down. The missus complains, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's bloody freezing in here. Like, yeah, well, you know what I mean? Not only am I saving on heat, but I'm saving on throwing stuff away. But if you store them correctly, they still will change. Your top notes, they will pretty much vanish eventually. I've got, what's my oldest fragrance? I've got a bottle of Lamal from about 2012, and that that doesn't that doesn't smell like it once did. But after about half an hour, it settles into Lamal. But you just don't really get the same sort of lavender vanilla mix, like that initial lavender vanilla mint, that in the way that it gets delivered. I think the mint's pretty much almost gone. But I've never binned anything. Well, I have, but not because they've gone off. Um, cheap stuff that, especially not early on in me wearing fragrances, but early on in this level of like ridiculousness as a hobbyist, trying all the dupes, you know what I mean? Watching Gen Sense and like, oh yeah, eBay. Like some of the stuff he's recommended, man, it's a crime against bloody humanity. I have a 90s egoist. Went a bit weird now compared to a new one I got. Is it Mad Barber? Is it still wearable though? Like, I'm assuming it will be still wearable though. Like the missus had an old bottle of Dolce and Gabbana Parfum. Now this was before I met her. This is when she was storing it, and I don't know whether it had been like near a windowsill or I don't know how she'd stored it. But when I met her, I'd got it out of a drawer, and it was like you could tell it was basically all that was left was oil, and in the bottom there it was like really thick, and when you sprayed it, it actually smelled a little bit pissy. Um, it's like everything had evaporated but the oil. So like if you imagine like it's so concentrated and it's not intended to be, like these roll on oils and stuff like that you're intending to use as an oil are blended with that in mind. But when things are like diluted and intended to be diluted, when they're that concentrated, they don't smell very nice. um, so I mean that's probably the worst example I've seen of a perfume going off, because it literally just turned into like a really thick oil because everything else had just evaporated out of it. Thoughts on Bulgarian Man in Black? Yeah, it's nice. It's nice, sort of in that like original Spice Bomb sort of space. Um, its performance is pretty whack like, but if you choose your occasions to wear it, like as long as you're only going out of the house for a few hours, like 3 4, like something like that, you'll notice it for pretty much all of that 3 or 4 hours. Smells very nice though, I've got to admit. It smells very, very nice. I do like it. Don't own it. I don't need to. I've got quite a few things that serve the same purpose, but yeah, I do like it. And I would say it's probably more I would say it's a little bit more upscale than Spice Bomb EDT. It just smells a bit like it's got a bit more going on. Or maybe that's just mental gymnastics. You know what I mean? Oh, it costs more, so it must be better. You know what I mean? Um, we were just talking about it actually. Sorry, John, I'm gonna have to get it out. Okay, where's it at? Yeah, I've actually just filmed a review. I've just got it here. Suspiro Il Padrino. It was my scent of the day. And it is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. Rum, amaretto, just like a little bit green. For fuck's sake. See, John, see how nice and like it's like a peach. If you like rub it one way, it goes dark, and rub it the other. John hates velvet bottles. So yeah, it's a boozy, thick, sweet. Yeah, yeah, boozy, thick, sweet, like sort of. So in the beginning, I get like a bit of a tropical sort of smell, and there's no reason for that. Like when you look at the notes, there's no particular reason why it should smell tropical, but it might be the cherry almondy sort of smell of the amaretto mixing with. I think there's a bergamot in there somewhere, and there's a blackcurrant, and there's vanilla. I don't know what, but it smells a bit like a tropical, like rum punch or something like that. But this, if you want to simplify it, this is what side effect wishes it had been. That's what this is. It doesn't smell exactly like it, but side effect is a bit too heavy. It's a bit too linear, and it's a bit engulfing. Like I like the smell of it, but this wears well. Why are you still holding it? Sorry. Yeah. Um, yeah, Il Padrino for station on what occasion? Casual, more dressed up. I would say you could. It's pretty versatile, to be honest. But definitely, I would say autumn through to early spring. I only wore it today because I filmed the review. But I wear cold weather fragrances on a summer evening if I'm not leaving the house, just because they're my favorite type of scent. And sometimes I'll get out of the shower and like, you know what? I'm just gonna put some Habdad on or something like that. You know what I mean? I mean, there are frag like that out there, but they're still good. I've got a really early. I've got a release year bottle of D&G the one, and while it's poor performing, still like where it. Do you have Torino 21 thoughts? I don't have 21. I have 22. That's my favorite Torino. 21 is a bit different because he's got that mint, and it's a very prominent mint as well. It's much fresher. Torino 22 is a bit sweeter and a bit thicker. But I really like it. I will pick it up at some point. I have quite a lot of Zerzhovs, but that's just been one that I haven't felt like I needed it. You know what I mean? But I will pick it up at some point. Probably, if I see a partial like cheap. How's the performance on it? How's the performance on Il Padrino? Um, good. Yeah, really good, and it suits the behavior of the fragrance, suits his profile. So you'll probably get like, I think, for about 2.5 to 3 hours, like your projections at around about the 3 foot mark. It's very noticeable, but it doesn't immediately rain right in. It gradually rains in. Like you'll get easily 6 hours of very noticeable wear, and like general longevity. Out of the 3 or 4 times I've wore it, I would say definitely 10 hours on me. It was definitely 10 hours on me, but at that point, it was close. You know what I mean? It was like like if it was somebody else, they would only smell it if they were like right next to me or giving us a cuddle or something like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, performance. You haven't got an issue with performance at all. What's the sense of wood bottle? It's actually plumbing cognac. They don't all come the same color. So plumbing cognac, you usually see it as a black bottle, but if you buy it like from their website, you can customize the bottle. It's only if it's like through a second party like retailer, or or you just get it off somebody that have got it that way. It's black, but when you get it from the manufacturer, you can choose the color of the bottle. What are non-Arabic clone houses? Paris Corner. Paris Corner is still an Arabic clone house. I'll watch your honest thoughts on clone houses, not Arabic ones. All right, okay. The big gal's asking that. So by non-Arabic clone houses, was that MJ that asked that question? Sorry, I need to go back. Oh no, Charlie Parkinson. Right. But I see, I was finding a bit nauseating. I really like it. Right. So first of all, I'll answer the question about the non-Arabic clone houses, and what he meant by that was things like Alexandria, Insider, Rosa Salas, Perfume Parlor, Essence Fault, and all that stuff. Right. So my personal opinion is that there's a need for them for many different reasons from different people from different walks of life. Right now, as long as they're serving a purpose that the original can't be met from a particular like person. So, for instance, Insider does a lot of discontinued fragrances. I've got their Plum Japonais down there. Also, they do some really, really expensive like dupes, like the Henri Jacques Blue Vanille. If you've got £1,000 to spend on a bottle, then and you want to, go ahead. Or you can just get the Insider one for like 85 quid or whatever it is. So there's that, yeah. And then, you know, even even the ones that are readily available, like with the likes of Alexandria, right? So I would say that the reason that most of Alexandria's fragrances are inspired by expensive niche ones is because there wouldn't be no point in them cloning designers because they aren't cheap. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty much a pound per mil. And why would the clone Sauvage? You know what I mean? Because people would say, well, I'll just get the original, even though the Alexandria ones are extracts and they use some really good quality oils. They must do. They must do. And you know, a lot of them last longer than the original and perform better. Black Panther, for example, outperforms Tiger, and not all of you will agree with me here, but I think it smells better as well. I do. I prefer Black Panther to Tiger. I really do. Um, yeah. The serve a purpose. The serve a purpose, mate. Now there is a thing called intellectual theft. You know what I mean? Where people are going out there and they're saying, right, so somebody, a perfumer, sat down and poured the blood, sweat, and tears into creating a formulation, having it go to proof, being it checked back, and then it's been made, it's been rolled out, and then somebody with one of them gas chrometer things has just come along, analyzed it, and replicated it, and sold it at a cut price. See, that's always been done. Like it has. It's always been done. It's very well done now. Like, and they're more obvious about what they're doing. You know what I mean? And I don't mean in fragrances. I mean like just in life in general. You know what I mean? Like a knockoff jacket down the market, or like a pirated DVD, or whatever. You know what I mean? So like, and it always was gonna be. It always was gonna be. I don't think it's necessarily hurting the sales of the originals. I don't, because I think the people that are buying the cheaper versions probably wouldn't have bought the original anyway, or if they had, they're gonna anyway. Like they'll get that one maybe to find out whether they like that profile, and then they might go on to get the other one. And I think just like with many things, I think that one hand washes the other, and it's all just the industry, isn't it? So I can understand the gripe. I can understand where people think that it's wrong. I can understand, especially people in the industry, having a problem with these clone houses and stuff like that. But if anything, it should make them either up the game and start giving us some really good stuff, or it's never not going to make them cut the prices. Let's face it, that's never going to happen. But what it might do, which won't be good, is them start to cut corners and get things in cheaper. You know what I mean? So like that might be like people are saying now there's a lot of issues with performance with new design releases and that. Is it because they're cheaping out? Is it because they're not selling as many units? If they aren't selling as many units, they're trying to like, recover some losses somewhere. I don't know. But there's one thing for sure: these dupe brands, man, they're just getting better and better and better. And you know, Rosa Salas needs a mention. Like, absolutely does they need a mention too. Like, I wasn't even aware of them at all. And somebody, Lee Hall, mentioned, "Oh, have you tried Rosa Salas?" And I was like, I'd been jaded by things like bloody perfume parlor and essence vault and all this, that, and the other. Like, no way. No, I'm not. Like, I thought, nah. But then I actually spoke to the brand owner, and after a conversation with him, I was like, right, I need to try some of your stuff. And do you know what? I was not disappointed at all. I continue to buy them now. I really do. And part of that is because the guy who owns the brand is a lovely person, and he deserves all the luck in the world. I want him to succeed. So part of it is that. But everything I've tried from him has either been very close, really well put together, and performs well, or there's been an intended twist on it. And either that intended twist means I didn't like it as much, or the intended twist meant I liked it more. You know, um, is Fico de Amalfi. I actually like that more than the Aqua de Parma. It's not as it's not as unisex. It is a little bit more masculine, and it performs better. And that's something that he prides himself on, Vitor, as well. Wherever possible, if he's replicating a fragrance that's notoriously bad on performance, he'll try and make it perform better. Like, if you haven't checked Rosa Salas out, guys, because they're not as well known as Alexandria and stuff like that, head over to his site. You can actually use my code FRAGLAD10 and you'll get 10% off anything that isn't already discounted or a bundle. So anything that isn't in a bundle or already discounted, if you go on over to his site, use FRAGLAD10. I don't get any kickbacks. He just generated that code for my viewers because I'd done a few reviews for him, and I'm going to do some more as well, some shorts for him to use on Instagram and that. But like, if you do like to have an inspired by in your collection, then definitely check them out. I would. I can't say anything. I can't say any more than I've already said. You know what I mean? He hits the mark, and I think he's got a position in the market just right. You know what I mean? He's not as expensive as the likes of Alexandria and stuff like that, but he covers his menu is massive. You know what I mean? Stop Waziki. What's Waziki? Never tried them, but only heard bad things. Or Essence Fault. Yeah. But honestly, guys, get yourself over to Rosa Salas. As Virgil Abloh said, replication is the best performer flattery, yeah. Have you heard of Nabiro Tobacco Vanille? It's a Swedish brand. I haven't. Savage Elixir is my scent of the day. Very nice. Have you tried Chisada Ambassador Intense, Mad Barber? Big question, and you're the best to answer. Black Panther Alexandria. I'm told it smells good, but does it genuinely smell like a perfume? Because perfume parlor clones smell like oils, and I'm worried. MJ, you've changed your name. MJ, get in my DMs. Send me a DM with your address. I'll send you a couple of mil. I'm confident that I'm confident that you love it. I've got quite a few Alexandria down here. If you send me a private message by Facebook, then I'll go over the ones that I've got, and I'll send you some out. It won't be costing me anything because I got them as a PR package, and the brand, well, the franchise owner insisted that I was honest when I reviewed them. He said that I don't even have to hold back on a bad review. It's because I think, you see, the reason why brands don't mind you giving a bad review is that it shows that the reviews are genuine, and people that understand how subjective fragrance is, that it's a matter of taste. If you're watching reviews of a company and all you're seeing is good review, and they're all saying the same thing, and it sounds like they're reading from a script, what you're going to think? You're not gonna trust it. In fact, you're going to think the opposite. You're going to think, these people are being paid to say this shit. Why are they being paid to say it? Why can't they just be honest? Is it because it's shit? You know what I mean? So Dave said to me, he says, like, listen, if you don't like it, say you don't like it. But I haven't had to say that. Like, and I think I've only reviewed, or have I reviewed 3? Or is it just, no, it's only 2. I've only reviewed Black Panther and Runway 45. Well, obviously, I've got about 5 or 6 down there now. So I need to get my skates on. But the there was one that was an inspo of the Roja, Amazing Chypre, I think it was, which I appreciated it, like, for what it was. I haven't smelt the Roja, but there was something in it that made it not so much for me, and I think it might have been the petitgrain, if there is petitgrain in it, but it's something like that. Like, sometimes, like, greens and certain florals, if they're not done just right, they can be a little bit much, and I start to get a headache. But it was nothing to do with the way it was blended or anything like that. It was just the particular composition wasn't to my taste. You know what I mean? But yeah, just reach out to us, M, and I'll sort it out with some samples. Hey, Grim Man, how's it going? How's it going, dude? Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I trust that people have said Black Panther smells great, but I was worried it would smell flat or 2D. No, no, I mean, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. It's like, sometimes, because they're not blended, and the notes aren't positioned. They're not positioned in such a way. So, you see, to get transitions go on properly, when they choose the things before they build them, it's got to be dosed just right. You know what I mean? If you don't dose it right, then not only will a note become more dominant than it should be, but you'll smell it at the wrong time, and it'll ruin the transition altogether. You know what I mean? So I think that sometimes these dupes, it's as if you're smelling the open and the mid and the base pretty much all at the same time. And I don't suppose it's like, or at least, that you get a fleeting opening, and then the mid and base shows up, and that's all you've got for the rest of it. So yeah, they seem to nail it, but as you say, it smells quite flat. Yeah, they don't have the layers the OGs have. That's exactly, yeah. They are important. They are important. Yeah, I know what you mean about the Chypre. It's absolutely fantastic, and I appreciate it, but it's just not for me. Yeah, it's like, I haven't smelt the Roja though. I haven't smelt the Roja. Oh, cheers, Grim Man. Yeah, cheers. Thanks very much, man. I do appreciate that. Bloody hell, we've seen how long I've been going for now. I was only meant to be on for an hour. I think I'll have to wrap it up, guys. I'll have to wrap it up because it'll be getting on, and I've got some stuff to be doing. But if you were interested in, like, wedding scents, I am going to be wearing a hat. How long have you been on? An hour and 40. An hour and 40 minutes. So these are I'm going to be wearing Seraphim Musk for my wedding, but these are the ones. So we've got, these are the recommendations. Reflection 45, Reflection. Both Bois Imperials there, the UDP and the X-Straight. You could layer those. The bottom there, you've got Lalique, Hom, which is the Lion one, Platinum Egoist, Xerjoff Renaissance, along with Xerjoff Neo. And then there's a couple of creeds over here, which is Royal Oud and Green Irish Tweed. And then you've got Atkinson's Gold Fair in Mayfair. And there's many more. There's many more. And Grim, I don't know how you've got a I need that Seraphim Musk. Time you're doing those. I didn't intend to Grim. I thought it was only going to be an hour. Yeah, cheers, my barber. Thanks very much, Oisin, for stopping by, man. Yeah, I thought I was only going to do an hour, but it's just run away with me. And the theme was meant to be wedding scents, but yeah, I am. Yeah, yeah, a week tomorrow. Yeah, I'm getting married. Yeah, yeah, Sunday, the 6th of July. Yeah, so thanks, Al. Great live. I really enjoyed it. Send my love to the family. Take care. Run those hours up. But you're already monetized, aren't you? So I'm monetized to the sense where I can receive donations. Congrats in advance, brother. Thanks very much. Thanks, my barber, man. But I haven't got my 4,000 watch hours in yet, so I can't get ad revenue. But I haven't really been pushing it, as you know. Like if you look at my channel, Grim, and my videos, like I've literally done 4 in 2 months. You know what I mean? So like, but you know what's been going on, don't you? So obviously, like I haven't had the creative push to be doing much, and I need to get that back. I had a stint. You didn't need to do that, Grim man. Thanks very much, though, bro. I appreciate it. Thanks very much, man. So what are you going to wear? I'm wearing Zaharoff Seraphim Musk, and the missus is wearing Zaharoff by Zan. There were gifts actually from 2 very kind friends, and we thought we haven't wore them. I haven't got Seraphim Musk yet, but it's on its way. And you know we haven't actually worn them, so we'll wear them on the wedding day, and then when we wear them after that, you deserve a briefcase full of wonders. Oh, thanks, Grim man. Appreciate that, dude. Yeah, when we wear them any day after the wedding, we'll be reminded not only of our beautiful day, but of the 2 kind people that made that beautiful gesture. So yeah, that's what we're doing. I actually reached out to George Saharoff as well, and I said that you know we've got these, and we're going to be wearing them on the wedding day, and then you know what I've just said to you basically. And he was touched. George is a lovely man, honestly. I don't get why there's people in the community that are like that have a negative opinion of him. I really don't. I don't know if it's because it's the people that he's chose to work with in the past, or like that Joey Canoli dude, or whatever. But like, yeah, like he's so nice, and it's a genuine niceness as well. You know, he's such a nice fella. Like honestly, and I'll continue to beat that drum until there's no drum to beat, because he's such a nice guy, man. Honestly, I done it was I would say it's one of my first videos, but it was one of my first like house discovery deep dive things, and I'd done as a hard off one just from samples, and like he actually came on, like, and it was like he's the man himself. He added me as a friend on Facebook and that. It's just a really nice guy, man. Really nice guy. Yeah, so I'm sorry I'm gonna have to go, Grim. I know you've only just showed up in that, man, but like I'll let you get off so you can do your live as well. And guys, as always, thank you so much for all the support. It really means a lot. I'll start doing more normal videos and that. Like I've actually filmed one today, and if I've got time, I was going to do another one, and I realized it was nearly 9 o'clock, and I had to do a live. So if I've got time and I can be bothered, I'll film another one tonight. If not, I might do it first thing in the morning. You have yourself a good night too, MJ. Thanks very much, mate. And guys, as I've just said there, there'll be more content coming up. Obviously, we've had a really difficult time lately. Get them reviews out. Love watching them, buddy. Take care. Hey, thanks very much, man. And watching and listening. Jay-Z is top, man. All the best for your wedding day. Thanks very much, Sandy. Great discussion. I'm out. All the best for wedding. Thanks very much. Yeah, cheers, guys. Thanks very much. I'll notify you. Good live, Al. Have a good night. Hopefully see you soon. Congrats on the wedding. Thanks very much, Charlie. Yeah, guys, it's been great. Honestly, like I love these lives. I love the interactions from you guys. You're all a great bunch of people, and some new people keep coming as well. And you're all welcome. You know what I mean? You're all welcome. We'll continue our fragrance chat. We always have a laugh. We always have a laugh. That's what's guaranteed to happen when you come here, because we're a good bunch of people. So I'll notify you. Yeah, said if you must go. I got my delivery notification. UPS are on the way. It'll take a little bit longer to get to me, obviously. You know, being in the UK, but yeah. So that'll about do it for guys. That'll about do it for today, guys. Thanks very much. Let's get some more. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Grim. And I'll notify on the. Oh, you're UK too. Oh, sorry, Sandy. I thought I'd seen you in the Zaharoff groups. I thought you were maybe American. Keep the lights up, Al. Have a good rest. Yeah, I will do. Cheers, Mark. And I'll keep you notified when I do the next lives, Northern Ireland. I hope you're keeping safe and well. I'll keep you notified. Guys, if you aren't or yes, is it? Yeah, that's probably where I've seen you then. Just that most of the people in those group, in that particular group, are from America. So I think I just make assumptions. But yeah, if hop on over to my channel page, and I guess you're already subscribed. If you're not, do me a favor and subscribe. But definitely hit the bell notification icon so that you will get a notification next time I announce a live. I normally like put it up. Thanks very much, Sandy. I normally put like the coming soon sort of post like the day before or whatever. So at least you'll know. I can't make it the same day every week because I work shifts, but it's usually 9 o'clock. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Keep safe, keep well, keep smelling good, and above all else, look after yourselves. See you next time.